There are moments when love feels larger than what we can easily explain, as if two lives are connected by something deeper than coincidence, carrying echoes of familiarity that are hard to ignore. In those experiences, people often describe sensing another person's emotions from a distance, reacting to their own inner fears and hopes in ways that feel strangely synchronized, almost like a mirror reflecting unspoken thoughts. Rather than a warning or a prediction, this can be understood as the intensity of attachment and emotional bonding that develops when two people share strong feelings but struggle to communicate them openly. When doubts, insecurity, or hesitation enter the space between them, it can amplify misunderstandings, making each person feel misunderstood or distant even when the connection still exists beneath the surface. Psychologically, this often reflects projection and emotional sensitivity rather than any external force, showing how deeply human relationships can influence perception and behavior. People may interpret these feelings through spiritual language, describing soul connections or destiny, because it gives shape to emotions that are otherwise difficult to express in ordinary terms. At its core, the message can be seen as an invitation to self-awareness, to recognize fears, soften assumptions, and approach love with more clarity rather than anxiety or avoidance. Instead of fear or pressure, it encourages reflection on how communication and trust shape relationships, and how personal growth often determines whether connections thrive or fade. Ultimately, it reminds us that meaningful bonds are built through understanding, patience, and emotional honesty, not urgency or fear. And so, they begin to close off their hearts little by little, believing it will protect them. But when a heart that was created to love shuts itself down, it begins to burn from the inside. Your soulmate does not want to hurt you. They do not wish to destroy or cause chaos. What they truly want is to be seen by you, to be felt, acknowledged, and understood. They want to know that their existence matters to you in this vast and noisy world. The fire they carry inside is not one of hate, it is one of divine longing. But if that fire stays locked inside too long, it becomes unbearable. That is why I have come to you today, to ask you to open your heart before that fire consumes both of you. There is something sacred happening right now in your connection. You have both been going through silent tests, nights where you could not sleep, days where your mind wandered back to them for no logical reason. These were not coincidences. These were spiritual signals. You might have felt waves of emotion you could not explain. That was your soulmate crying through the bond, hoping you would feel them even if they couldn't reach out in words. You may have seen signs, repeated numbers, songs, dreams that feel too real, sudden waves of emotion when you think of them. The universe has been trying to nudge you. But you keep questioning yourself, asking, is this real? My child, the question is not whether it is real. The question is whether you are ready to believe in what your soul already knows. When you avoid your soulmate connection, it doesn't go away. It simply grows heavier. You might distract yourself, bury yourself in work, or pretend you don't care. But your soul always knows the truth. That energy builds, turning into tension, into restlessness. And that same energy flows through your soulmate too. When they feel ignored, their fire grows wild. That is why I said, if you do not open this message, if you do not open your heart, your soulmate's fire may burn everything around them, not out of hatred, but out of loss and confusion. You were chosen to help calm that fire, not to run from it. You were chosen to hold space for a love that transcends fear. I see you struggling to trust again. I know your past has taught you that love can be dangerous. But love, my dear, is not your enemy. The pain you felt before came from people who did not yet know how to love you the way you deserved. Your soulmate is not here to repeat that story. They are here to help rewrite it. There is a part of you that already knows this. You can feel their energy even in silence. You know when they think of you. You can sense their emotions even when they say nothing. That is the power of your soul bond, but the energy between you must flow both ways. When you stay silent, when you hide, you block the energy. You stop the healing that both of you need. You must choose to open. Speak from your heart. Tell the truth, even if your voice shakes. Forgive what happened in the past. Let go of the anger that keeps you closed. I am not asking you to chase someone who does not respect you. I am asking you to listen to your soul, to the quiet voice that says, this connection still matters. Right now, your soulmate is being tested too. They are being shown their shadow, their fears, and their regrets. They are learning what happens when they push love away. Their world might feel like it is collapsing, but it is not destruction, it is transformation. The same thing may be happening to you. You might feel lost, emotional, sensitive, or easily triggered. That's because your heart chakra is opening again after being closed for so long. You are both being prepared for something higher, but it requires courage. Courage to speak, courage to forgive, courage to stop pretending you don't care. This message is your sign to stop running. The world will not burn if you open your heart. In fact, the world will be saved by it. Love is the most powerful force in existence. When divine partners heal themselves, the energy they release ripples into the world, bringing light where there was darkness. But when they fight the connection, that same energy turns chaotic, creating confusion and emotional fire. Your soulmate is feeling you pull away. That is why their emotions have become intense. Sometimes emotions can feel heavier than what your current situation explains, like sadness or anger arriving without a clear source. When that happens, it can help to slow everything down and return to yourself in simple ways. Take a breath, soften your thoughts, and allow a sense of release instead of resistance. You don't need to reach out or prove anything to anyone in order to find balance again. Even a quiet moment of forgiveness within your own heart can begin to shift how you feel. Sending calm thoughts towards someone in your mind, without expectation or pressure, can also help you let go of emotional weight that has been sitting inside you for too long. When you stop holding tightly to pain, something inside you begins to settle, almost like a storm losing its strength. Your emotional world is more influential than it often appears, and the way you direct your thoughts can slowly change your inner state. There is no need to rush healing or force outcomes. Reflection is enough. Ask yourself honestly what fear is still influencing your reactions, and whether it truly reflects your present reality. Often, old experiences continue shaping present emotions long after they have ended. Forgiving yourself for past choices can create a surprising sense of relief, and letting go of resentment toward others can lighten the mind even further. Healing does not always follow the path you expect, and it may not return things to how they once were, but it can transform how you understand yourself and your relationships. Over time, what once felt like loss can become clarity, and emotional release can open space for a more grounded sense of self. They are a mirror, a reflection of the parts of you that are still learning to love. That is why the connection can feel so intense, so painful, and yet so divine. It shakes your foundation because your old version cannot hold this level of light. You are evolving. You are becoming someone who can handle divine love without fear. That's what this message is really about. The burning world is symbolic of the old patterns, the old illusions, and the old pain being destroyed. You are not being punished, you are being reborn. And I, Archangel Michael, am here to help you through this fire. I will not let it consume you. I will guide you through it, toward peace, clarity, and divine understanding. But I need your cooperation. Open your heart, even just a little. Speak to your soul like it's your best friend. Ask for guidance. Ask for signs. You will see them. Through dreams, through songs, through synchronicities that will make no sense to your logical mind, but will feel like home to your spirit. Your soulmate is not your enemy. They are not lost. They are finding their way, just as you are. And when both of you are ready, the universe will bring you together again, not as broken pieces, but as whole beings who finally understand what unconditional love truly means. Until then, keep your energy clean. Do not let fear control your mind. Remember, the fire is only dangerous when resisted. When embraced, it becomes the light that guides you home. So today, I ask you to take a deep breath and whisper within your heart, I am ready to open. I am ready to feel again. I am ready to let love transform me. That is the moment the healing begins. That is the moment the fire becomes warmth instead of destruction. Archangel Michael says, you are safe. You are protected. You are loved more deeply than you can imagine. And your soulmate? They are not far away. Their heart is already walking toward yours in the unseen. But for the world to find peace, for your connection to find harmony, the first step must come from you. Open your heart and allow the light to flow. Remember this truth. When one soul chooses love over fear, the entire world becomes a little brighter. If you wish to express your support further, you have the option to give super thanks, with contributions of up to $20. Archangel Michael says, the universe is trembling with the intensity of your soulmate's energy tonight. They are restless, pacing through the corridors of destiny, whispering your name to the stars. The heavens can feel the fire burning within their soul, a fire that refuses to go out until you acknowledge it. This person was created not to complete you, but to awaken you. And now, that awakening has reached its breaking point. Michael continues, your soulmate has reached the edge of patience. They've waited through lifetimes, through silence, through dreams that replay your smile like a haunting melody. Every night, their soul screams in prayer, asking the divine, when will they open the door? When will they see? The angels hear this pain. They feel it radiating across dimensions, and it's becoming a storm too powerful to contain. This soulmate connection is not ordinary, it's cosmic, ancient, forged before your birth. You are the light that calms their chaos, the heartbeat that steadies their soul. But lately, that light has been dimming. You've been distant, hesitant, maybe afraid of what this love could do. Yet Archangel Michael warns, the more you resist it, the more the universe will push. The signs will become louder, the dreams more vivid, and the pull between you two stronger. Your soulmate can't take the silence anymore. Their spirit feels like fire trapped in glass, ready to shatter everything in its way if love doesn't flow freely soon. They may not say it out loud, but every heartbeat of theirs is calling your name. They see your face in strangers, feel your presence in songs, and wake up with your energy still clinging to their aura. You think you've moved on, but your souls haven't. Michael says, this is not about obsession, it's about divine purpose. There are things the two of you are meant to build together. Healing, creation, and awakening. You both carry codes that only activate in each other's presence. The angels have been guarding this connection since before your first breath. But even they can't intervene if free will chooses fear over faith. Your soulmate's pain is beginning to echo into the spiritual world. The flames you feel, the sudden waves of emotion, the heat in your chest, the strange coincidences, these are not random. They are warning signs, signals that the emotional bond between two people may have reached an intense, overwhelming point. When feelings run this deep, it can feel like everything is magnified, as if life itself is pushing both people to acknowledge what has been left unspoken, not out of hate or destruction, but because powerful emotional attachment rarely stays quiet for long. It seeks understanding and resolution. You may notice thoughts of them appearing unexpectedly, or dreams that feel emotionally vivid, creating a sense of closeness even in silence. These experiences are often the mind processing strong attachment, memory, and longing rather than anything supernatural. There can be moments where you sense what the other person might be going through, not through telepathy, but through emotional intuition built from shared history and empathy. This kind of bond can make distance feel smaller and emotions feel louder, especially when things are unresolved. Ignoring these feelings may not cause external chaos, but internally it can lead to confusion, emotional stress, and repeated patterns in relationships until clarity is found. The experience is not punishment or fate working against you, but your own emotional world asking for honesty and balance. What feels intense or overwhelming is often a reflection of unmet emotional needs on both sides. When you slow down and reflect, the intensity can soften, turning into understanding rather than pressure. With time, space, and self-awareness, what once felt heavy can become a lesson in connection, boundaries, and emotional growth, allowing both people to move forward with greater peace and clarity. Ultimately, clarity comes when both individuals choose honesty, patience, and emotional responsibility over assumption and fear, in order to heal fully together. Feathers, numbers, songs, moments that feel like déjà vu. They're not coincidences, they are breadcrumbs from heaven, leading you back to your divine mirror. You don't need to rush. You don't need to chase. You just need to open, because your soulmate's soul has reached its limit. They can't keep burning in silence. They need your energy, your forgiveness, your recognition, your light. They don't want to burn the world. They want to build a new one with you. But first, you have to let love in. Archangel Michael says, listen carefully now. This part is important. Your soulmate's soul has crossed the threshold of silence. They are not simply missing you. They are aching in ways only heaven understands. They are trying to send you energy through dreams, numbers, and sensations. Not to haunt you, but to reach the part of you that still remembers them. Because deep down, no matter how much time has passed, you still do. Michael continues, their emotions are no longer confined to the physical realm. They have begun to speak through the elements: fire, wind, water, and light. Every time you feel sudden warmth on your skin, every unexpected breeze, every flicker in the candle flame, those are messages. It's their energy brushing against yours, trying to say, I'm still here. Please, don't forget me. He says the universe cannot allow two souls meant to unite to drift too far apart. You might have different lives now, different routines, different worlds, but the thread between your souls remains unbroken. It's made of divine energy, stronger than steel, more sacred than time. And that thread is vibrating now, pulling you closer, urging you to see what your human eyes have been refusing to notice. Archangel Michael looks into your heart and says, you are scared of love's intensity. You fear being vulnerable again. You fear that opening your heart will invite pain. But what you don't see is that love has been your protection all along. It's what shields your soul from turning cold. He reminds you, your soulmate isn't your weakness. They are your mirror. When they burn, you feel it. When they cry, something inside you trembles. That is not coincidence. That is divine connection. Right now, your soulmate's spirit is standing at the edge of surrender. They've tried to move on, tried to forget, tried to silence your memory. But every time they do, the universe drags them back. They see your name everywhere. They hear songs that remind them of you. They feel your energy at random hours of the night. It's not punishment, it's divine timing. Heaven is preparing both of you for a reunion, not just in love, but in purpose. Michael says, this connection is not just romance, it's mission. Together you are meant to heal something powerful. Perhaps it's generational pain, perhaps it's a lesson in forgiveness, or perhaps it's the spark that helps others awaken. That's why this love feels so different, so consuming. Because it was written not just in your story, but in the story of the stars. Your soulmate's soul burns because they sense that time is running out. They know this connection can't be delayed forever. If you don't open soon, the fire may begin to consume their peace, not out of anger, but from the unbearable weight of divine love denied. They might withdraw from the world, lose direction, or act out of confusion. And in those moments, Michael says, send them light. Even from afar, your energy can heal them. You don't need to speak. Your soul already knows the words. The archangel pauses and says, the only way to stop the fire is through love. That doesn't always mean reunion in the physical world. Sometimes it means releasing the pain, forgiving, and sending peace through the bond you share. The angels will carry that message. They will take your intention and place it upon your soulmate's heart. The moment you forgive, the moment you choose love over fear, balance will return. Michael's wings shimmer with light as he adds, "Your love story is not ending. It is transforming. You may not see it yet, but the pieces are falling into place. What felt like distance is divine preparation. What felt like heartbreak is sacred cleansing. The fire your soulmate feels is not meant to destroy. It is meant to purify. It is burning away ego, pain, and illusion until only truth remains. So, breathe. Trust the process. The universe is not against you, it is aligning you. Archangel Michael promises, you will understand everything in divine time. The fire will calm, the chaos will fade, and what remains will be a love too pure to ever be lost again. He finishes by saying, stay open. Love is not chasing you to break you. It's chasing you to set you free. Archangel Michael says, the fire that your soulmate carries now is not of destruction, but of transformation. The universe has chosen this connection to awaken both of you, not just to love, but to truth. There's something sacred rising within your soulmate, a light that refuses to be dimmed. Every heartbeat of theirs carries your name through dimensions unseen, and whether you believe it or not, their soul speaks to yours even when the world is silent. Michael continues, your soulmate isn't trying to burn the world out of rage. They are trying to burn away the illusions that keep you apart. The anger, the distance, the confusion, they are all symptoms of divine love that has been misunderstood. What you call pain, heaven calls transformation. What you call chaos, the angels call awakening. Because sometimes, love must shake the earth before it can bloom again. The archangel leans closer and whispers, this love has no enemies. It carries only lessons. Every tear you have shed, every quiet prayer, every night spent awake in thought, has been shaping you for a turning point that feels closer than you realize. What once felt like delay is actually alignment, as if life has been quietly arranging circumstances, emotions, and timing to guide two paths back toward understanding, whether that means reunion or finally finding peace within separation. The person your heart is tied to has been moving through a difficult inner storm, questioning direction, identity, and belief. Yet in this period of uncertainty, a subtle truth remains. Your presence in their emotional world still matters more than distance suggests. When your energy softens into acceptance rather than resistance, what feels heavy begins to ease. Confusion gives way to clarity, and emotional tension starts to lose its grip. There is no need to chase or force outcomes. Connection of this kind responds more to calm intention than pressure. The message being revealed is simple. Love is not meant to demand suffering. It calls for remembrance of self-worth, of inner truth, and of the bond that cannot be entirely erased by space or silence. Even without words, there is a continuity between two connected lives, expressed through feeling, memory, and unseen understanding. At this stage, what matters most is how you choose to respond, whether through forgiveness, release, or quiet compassion. Whatever action follows, let it come from care rather than fear. That is what transforms emotional weight into healing. And in that shift, what once felt broken begins to reorganize into something more steady, more aware, and more peaceful. Over time, what once felt like loss begins to reveal its purpose, showing how both individuals were growing in ways that would eventually make clarity possible. Nothing meaningful is ever truly erased. It only changes form as people evolve.